Hello everybody, here we're back with Middle-earth CCG, the solo variant rules, the extended version, and I have chosen to have a little romp through Eriador. So Eriador is pretty much this area here, and we have several locations, so I'm playing according to the rules as posted on Facebook. So I have 15 location cards, and I've got 3 times Rivendell because I want to do stuff in Rivendell. And of course, once you've tapped a location, you can't use it anymore, so we'll have to have this a little more often. We have Lossedan Cairn up here, Lossedan Camp, Mount Gram, Ettenmoors, Camith Bryn, Weathertop, Bree, Bag End, Old Forest, Barrow Downs, Ost in Edil, and Tharbad. The way this game is played is you have your normal draw deck, you have your hazard deck. The normal draw deck contains all your characters that you want to play. You can have 10 characters in total, including your 3 starting characters. You cannot have any marshalling point cards in your draw deck. You have the environment deck, which contains 3 Twilight, 2 times Doors of Night, twice Gates of Morning, plus 8 other cards, 4 resources and 4 hazards. You've got 15 sites in total, and you've got your quest deck, which consists of 15 cards that generate MP, and then you've got your agent deck. Now, the way this game is played is you start your... first of all, you draw your starting hand, which is 5 cards, and my starting group is Eladan and Elrohir together with Mary, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And both Eladan and Elrohir have a shield of iron bound ash to assist them. Eladan and Elrohir also have the following ability. Eladan has +1 prowess if he is with Elrohir, and Elrohir has +1 body. So and we have our starting hand. We've got Risky Blow, Tempering Friendship, Gildor Inglorion, Dagger of Westerness, and Block. And the way this works is you cannot have anything in your draw deck that generates marshalling points, except of course character cards. The way you generate marshalling points is through the quest deck, and you start the game by drawing 2 quest cards. I've drawn Durin's Axe, which is a major item, which would be playable in the Barrow Downs, for example, or up here in Lossedan Cairn, or here in Mount Gram. Then I've got the Hauberk of Bright Mail, and they're both worth 2 marshalling points each. So, how we play this game is as follows. At the start of each turn, including the first roll, 2d6, and on a roll of 8+, draw a new quest card and place it by the map. So we're going to draw, so we're going to roll and see what we get. And we rolled a 6, so we don't get a new quest card. So now the question is, what are we going to do? We are going to move to Mount Gram, and we're going to try and bring into play Durin's Axe. So we're going to move here, and we draw 8 hazard cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, first we have the long event phase. So how this works in this game is we roll 2 dice. And on an 8+, I believe, yes, we draw an environment card. So we're going to draw an environment card. And we draw Gates of Mourning, which comes into play. So we'll place it over here. And when Gates of Mourning is played, all environment hazard cards in play are immediately discarded and all hazard environment effects are cancelled. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. We can take up to 3. Let's see. And we get to draw 2 cards. Do we want to draw 2 cards? Yes, we do. And we draw Dodge and we draw Tempering Friendship. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Orc Patrol. Orcs 3 strikes. Each one of them actually gets +1 prowess against orcs, and Eriador has +1 prowess anyway when he is with Elro here. So he has 7 plus his shield is 8 prowess. So he is going to dodge so that he doesn't tap. And it's an automatic success for the first strike. Then he's going to block, and it's an automatic success. And then he is going to tap, and it's an automatic success. So this goes into our marshalling points pile. Next up is Orc Raiders. Again, orcs 4 strikes. Eriador is going to take this strike. He has 5, naturally 6, so he's going to meet all of these anyway. So these are all ours as well. And last but by no means least, minus minion stir. The number of strikes and prowess of each orc or troll attack are each increased by 1. So this one stays in play because it's a long event. And that's it, because we can only have 3 hazards played on us. And these go away. And these go away as well. And we now approach Mount Gram, and now we need to roll 2 dice. And we rolled a 9, and this means it's a it's a shadow hold, and on a shadow hold, on a roll of 9, nothing happens, so we just basically encounter the attack, and it's orcs, 3 strikes with 6 prowess. However, since we have minion stir in place, it's now a prowess of 7. So this is met by him for 1, 2. So he takes those automatically without having to do anything. And the way I do it is actually I get to assign them to the same person, because otherwise, you know, I find it always very ridiculous that you end up with a completely tapped party, and then it's completely impossible to untap them. So we can now play Durin's Axe, and we're going to give this to Elro here. And we are also going to play Dagger of Westerness, which we are going to give to Eriador. So we're going to tap the and we're going to tap Eriador here to play the axe, and we're going to tap Mary to play the dagger. Then we draw one card, and it is the end of the round, so everyone untaps. Then we roll 2 dice. And we rolled a 10, so we draw an additional quest card, and we draw a beautiful gold ring. Now rings can be played in Ost in Edil. So minion stir goes away. So now we're going to see if we bring in another environment card, and we don't. So now we're going to start moving. We're going to go back to Rivendell. And we're going to draw 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our hazard limit is still 3, so we're going to draw 2 cards ourselves. Okay, first one. Huon, awakened plant, 1 strike. And that is absolutely playable. And this is taken by Eriador, who will tap. He's got 7, 8. And we roll a 9, which is enough to get rid of the Huon. Next up is Eriador here. So we're going to see what happens. Old Man Willow. That one is available. So we're going to, or do you need 2 woods for this? You do, so this one isn't available. Barrow White can definitely be played. 1 strike. After the attack, each character wounded by the Barrow White makes a corruption check. So that's going to be Eriador here. And he's going to attack for 5, 6, 7, 8. And we rolled a 6. That is 14. That's enough. The Barrow White goes away. Next up is Call of Home, playable on a non-wizard character. We rolled a 1, so this is played on Eriador. What this does is the character's player must make a roll. And we rolled a 9, plus the remaining free influence. Our free influence at the moment is 8, so that's enough. So this didn't work. So this goes away, but it was played. So that's our limit. No, sorry, we have 1 more. We drew 6 cards, didn't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's all of them. So this one goes away, but it was played. So the other ones go into the discard pile. We are now in Rivendell. And we're going to play Elf Song. And we will untap. And we're going to bring in Gildor Inglorion, whose home site is in Rivendell. No, actually we're going to bring into play Glorfindel, whose home site is in Rivendell. And now our free influence is 12, so we have no free influence whatsoever. Okay, so now let's see. Oh, sorry, we should have done the let's enter. Sorry, we'll take this back. We always need to check what happens on a 9 in Rivendell. Site encounter on a 9 in Rivendell. Nothing. So basically, we'll bring in Glorfindel. And that's all we're going to do. So then we're going to see if we get another quest card, and we do. We get another Hauberk of Bright Mail. So we're going to go to the Barrow Downs for this. For this we draw 4 cards. 6 cards. 2, 3. Oh, sorry, environment card. We don't get an environment card. Six cards. Our hazard limit is 4. We want to draw any cards. I guess we do. 1 card. Okay, cool. Dagger of Westerness. So, first card. Barrow White. Well, that's that's very good. Undead, 1 strike. After the attack. Okay, so Eladon is going to take this. He's going to tap. So he's got 5, 6, 7, plus he's with Elro here, 8. And we rolled an 8, which is enough to get rid of this. So this goes away into our marshalling points pile. Stirring Bones, Undead, 2 strikes. Elro here is going to take the first one. And he's now at 1, 5, 6. And he rolls an 8, that is enough. And Glorfindel and Elro here is going to take the second strike. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so this one goes into our marshalling points as well. Third, Call of Home. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it goes to Mary. We need to roll high, and we fail. So Mary is taken to the player's hand. Okay, so we take him back. So that was the third card. And now we draw the fourth card, and that is Lesser Spiders, which is definitely also playable. 4 strikes. So, so Glorfindel is going to take this one. So first off is he wins. He doesn't tap. Second one, yup. And then he decides not to tap once, and he passes, so these go away. So these go into our marshalling points pile. This one goes away and this one goes away. So we are now in the Barrow Downs. Let's roll. And we roll a 7. And on a 7, this is a... it's a Ruins in Lairs. And Ruins in Lairs on a 7, Lost in Dark Tunnels. You may not tap the site this turn unless you tap a Scout. Okay, so we can't do anything this round. We might have to discard down to 6 cards. And we're gonna discard Tempering Friendship. So we're now at the end of the round. Everyone untaps. So now we have the beginning of the phase, which is the environment phase now. And we don't get a new environment card. So now we don't move. So we still draw cards though. We get to draw 1. We draw a friend or 3. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First card is Muster Disperse, which would be playable, but it can't be played because we don't have anyone. Full of Froth and Rage. That goes in here. And then Corpse Candle, which can be played. Undead, 1 strike. And Glorfindel is going to take this. He's not tapping. Or he is tapping actually, because he doesn't tap, so he takes a -3, so he's only got 5. And he hits it for a 4, so the Corpse Candle goes into our discard pile. And the other cards go away. So now we don't need to face the site again. So we will now play, we're going to tap Glorfindel to play the Hoberg of Bright Mail. And we are going to we were going to give it to Mary, who's no longer here, so we're going to give it to Elra here. And then we're going to tap Elra here to play a Dagger of Westerness on Glorfindel. We tap the site. So we tap the site anyway, so everybody untaps, untap phase. And we are at 5. And we are going to move to Rivendell. And we are going to draw 6 cards. Environment. We don't get a new environment card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lost in Wilderness. We get to play 3 more cards on the group. So, Muster Disperse doesn't do anything. Lure of Nature goes to Glorfindel. 1, 2, 3. One more. Huon. Glorfindel is going to take this one. And he succeeds. Lure of Nature. Playable on a non-hobbit, non-dwarf, non-orc, non-ring wraith character. That is him. Target character receives 2 corruption points and makes a corruption check at the end of his movement hazard phase for each wilderness in his company's site. So we have 2 wilderness we are going to play a friend or three. For every character in the influencing character's company, a friend of three gives a +1 modification to an influence check or to a corruption check made by a character in the same company. So we are going to have, he has 3 points that he needs to roll, but he gets a +3. So first check is successful. Second check is successful as well. So that worked. We now need to enter Rivendell, and we roll a 7, and in Rivendell on a 7 we search our draw deck for any card and put it into our hands. So let's see what we've got. So what we're now going to do is we are now going to try and get rid of Lure of Nature. And you do this by... Sorry, now we need to untap everyone. And now we're in the organization phase because we're not going to do anything else in Rivendell. So we roll dice, and we roll 10, so this goes away. So now we need to check if we get another quest card. We don't. So now we see if we have an environment card. On a 6 we don't, or a new one. Okay, we're going to go to Ostin Edil. We draw 4 cards. Icy Touch, Wolves, Icy Touch. The prowess of one undead attack is modified by +1, so this one goes here. Wolves definitely hit. 1, 2, 3 lost in Borderlands. So we're going to do the Wolves 3 strikes. Eriador decides not to tap, so he's at -3, so he is 2, 3, 4, 5 for Elric here. And he passes the first strike, then he's going to tap for 7, and that's the second strike, and then he's going to do it again for 6, and he passes, so they go into our pile. No, okay, so these go away. Now, we rolled a 5, and a 5 on a lair. Rockfall, all characters roll 2d6 plus prowess, unless roll 12 plus must make a body check. Okay, so His prowess is 6. And he rolls 7, so that's good. He's fine. Elro here is going to use his shield. So that's 6. And he's got the Hoberg, which brings it up to 8. And he rolls 9, which is fine. So Glorfindel has an 8 prowess. So I don't think that weapons count, do they? Probably not. Or do they? Because if they do, then... Okay, he passes as well. Okay, that was interesting. That was nice. So now what we're going to do is we are going to... tap Glorfindel, and we're going to bring in the beautiful gold ring, which goes to Glorfindel. We're going to tap the site. End of round. Everybody untaps. We're going to play a chance meeting, which allows us to bring a character, even a hobbit, may be brought into play with direct influence at any freehold. And we are, or ruins and lairs, and that's where we're at. So that's that, and we're still in the organization phase, so we're now going to give the Dagger of Westerness to Mary. For this, Glorfindel has to make a check, and he passes the corruption check, so it goes to Mary. Then we're going to do the environment phase, and on a 9 we get an environment card, and we draw Fell Winter. Each border hold receives an automatic attack. Okay. Good. So now we see if we get another quest card. And we get one on a 9, and it is the Great Shield of Rohan. It's a major item as well. Which could be played in Lossodon Cairn. Or do you actually draw 2 cards? Okay. So, we still don't have a wizard. We're going to move to Rivendell, drawing 2 cards. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. I have no idea when the game actually ends. Barrow Whites cannot be played. Huon, Old Man Willow can be played, and Glorfindel is going to take that one on, and he fails. So now he needs to make a body check. And he passes, but he's hurt. So that was 1, so it's 1. Full of Froth and Rage. We've already got that. Despair of the Heart. 1, 2, 3, 4. Roll again. Oh, sorry. It is only 1, 2, or 3 because it's not a hobbit. So this goes to Glorfindel. Okay. So we could play this one. Old Man Willow, again, can't play that. And Wargs, which we can play. Or can we? Yes, we can. Why did I say we couldn't play Old Man Willow? Oh, we could. Yeah, so we're going to try this again. Sorry, he came again. So Eriador is going to tap for this one. 5, 6, 7, and he's with his brother, so that's 8. And on a 9 plus 8, he kills Old Man Willow. Now we've got Wargs. So Eriador is going to take this for 6. First one, and he passes. And he's going to try again. And he passes, and he's going to try again, and he passes again. Oh, it's only got 2 strikes anyway, so this one's gone. Okay, these ones go away. Let's see what happens to us in Rivendell, and we roll a 7. And on a 7, we can search our draw deck for any card and put it into our hand. You know what? We're going to get our wizard. Our wizard is Radagast. So now, first of all, we're going to untap Glorfindel. And then we are going to bring into play Radagast. So we're actually going to discard Eriador. We're going to bring into play Radagast in the organization phase, and we're going to now reorganize our setup. So Elrohir and Eladan will be directly reporting into Radagast. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 23. Okay, we're 2 off. Okay, let's see if we get another environment card. On a 7 we don't. Let's see if we get another quest card, and we don't. So, we could make our way to Lossedan Camp. No, actually Lossedan Cairn. And we draw 2 cards. One, Hobgoblins, which can be played. And they are orcs. And Elrohir has a +1 against orcs. Actually, we're going to take Glorfindel, who's at 7. He's tapped for the first strike, and he passes. And then we're going to take Eriador here, who's not gonna tap, but he's gonna tap his shield. So he's at 5, 6, 7, minus 3 is 4. So that was the first strike against Glorfindel. So we're looking for a 6 or higher. And we roll a 4. He has to make a body check. And he passes. But now we need to make a corruption check because somebody got wounded. And we pass, but just about. So this one was not a success. So first card. Second card, lesser spiders. 4 strikes. Radagast is going to take them. Let's see. He's going to not tap and he's going to get a risky blow. So he's for 6. And they are at +1. +2, so they're at 9. Yes. First strike. Second strike. Yes. Glorfindel. Passes. And lastly, Eriador here is not going to tap. He's at 5, 6, 7, 9, minus 5, 6, 8, 9, minus 3 is 6. And he passes. So that was 1, 2, 3. Lost in Wilderness, which means we get to play one more. 4, Muster Disperse doesn't do anything. 5, Wolves, they do attack. Radagast takes them and doesn't tap. First strike is we make it. Second strike we make it. Third strike we do make it. But we didn't quite get them. Fifth card, Lure of the Senses. A character receives 2 corruption points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on a 4 it goes to Glorfindel. Okay. Okay. So now we need to roll the die to see what happens to us, and we roll a 7, and that's a lair. Lost in Dark Tunnels, you may not tap the site this turn unless you tap a scout. We could tap a scout. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to play the Hoberg. And we're going to give it to Eriador here. No, we are going to give it to Radagast. Doesn't do anything for him, but he gets... Or should we... No, we're going to give it to Glorfindel. No, because Glorfindel is going to make a lot of No, actually we will, because it's only a +1. Okay. So now, we're going to untap everyone. And now we're tapping Glorfindel, and he's going to try and get rid of the despair of the heart. He needs to, how does this work? And we pass, so despair of the heart goes away. And now we are going to return to Rivendell. So this actually gets... So first we see, do we get a quest card? And do we get another environment card? We do. And we get Gates of Morning again. So this means everything else goes away. This one as well. Okay, so now we are in Rivendell. We draw cards. Oh, we actually drew 1 up to 5 and then 2 more. And we draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And the first one is Lure of Nature. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 possible targets. 1, so this doesn't work. 5 again. On a 3, it goes to Eriador. 1 card played. Plague of Whites. That's a long event. That's number 2. Number 3, Flies and Spiders. That's playable on a character facing a spider attack. Stays in play until such time as Call of Home. Non-wizard character, so we've got 4 possible candidates and it goes to Mary. And the character's player must make a roll. And we roll a 9 plus our remaining free influence. Now our free influence is 8, so we managed this. So that is 3 cards already, 4 cards. So that's, and we get 1 more because we're 5 people. Wisp of Pale Sheen. We come from up here, Lossodan Cairn. It can be played. 1 strike, Plague of Whites. All undead attacks are increased by 1. Sorry, the prowess is increased by 1. So this one has a prowess of 7. And Glorfindel is going to take this. He's tapped. So he's at 7 because he's tapped. And yeah. So now we arrive at Rivendell. And we see what happens to us on a 7. We could go in and get a card that we want, but we're not going to do this because I have no idea how the game is supposed to end or when it ends, but we have more than enough marshalling points. I think the idea is that it should end at the end of a when the hazard deck runs out for the first time. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 24, 25, exactly. So we've just made it. 27 actually. Okay, so I really like this. I think this goes really, it's really good. I was a bit surprised that we drew so few cards So a few quest cards. Is there a place where we can store, yeah, weather top information? We should also look into having maybe some information in there, because obviously the problem is, I don't think I've got a minor item that is worth any points, any marshalling points. But we could totally have. We didn't see any of our factions either, so they. And that's because they're not in here. That's weird. Oh no, the factions are, yeah, sorry, the factions are in there. So I think the issue is that you get to draw very, very few, that we got to draw very, very few cards for the questing. So that means that, you know, there are plenty of factions that we could have played. We had a Palantir and everything, but we never got to go anywhere where we could play them because they weren't drawn. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I think that maybe the D8 as a requisite, or the 8 on the 2 D6s is maybe a little bit strong. Maybe you need a little bit less there. I don't know. This remains to be seen, but I really like this way of playing it, and I think the rule should be that you can only ever exhaust the whole deck once. So if you have more than you need to get to the 25 marshalling points before the deck runs out. And maybe then also say every game, every card that you can't play, that you don't play because you have already exhausted the limit, doesn't go into the discard, but goes back into the hazard deck, and you just basically shuffle it, because I think that makes more sense. Yeah, so I really like this. This was a romp through Eriador. I will have to replay this tomorrow with the changes that I was just talking about. I can really recommend this variant, and I'm very happy that they came up with it, and I think it makes the game really, really interesting for the solo player. And adds to, well, I don't know, I mean, you could actually do a lot more storytelling here, because, you know, this was a romp through Eriador. One could also say, okay, let's, I guess we could use this system for the scenarios that we find on the web for this game. I think we should totally try this out. Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. We didn't get to draw any agent cards, but that's fine too. They would have been available if we had wanted to, or if we'd rolled them. So I'm going to just keep the decks as they are, because I'm going to play this again tomorrow, and I'm going to let you participate, and we can see how we fare. So yeah, I wish you all a pleasant rest of the day with the ME CCG. Bye bye.